microphone are a little bit high today, so we're good.
I heard you. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm all right, hon.
We're
Good to
doing
see you.
great today. We're
It's
doing great
beautiful
today.
there.
Yeah, today
What's
is
behind you? That is gorgeous.
It's our waterfall in our area here. It's
okay.
the dam.
Okay, everybody. Hello today. It's really cosmic because we have freaking cosmic ladies online here with waterfalls and eyeballs, and we'll see how many people we can pull on stage today. We're supposed to have some really incredible offerings today, and yesterday I was at the Derek Kilmer's office, who is a representative of Washington State, and I went with my elders to protest nuclear war. And there's dirty bombs being sent over to Ukraine, and even Amy Goodman doesn't know what they are because she says, "Oh, dirty bombs are being sent over by the Biden administration." Blah blah blah. And so the people that are in this coalition, I don't have the paperwork with me here, but this coalition that is super incredible here in Washington State are a bunch of elders that are not settling for nuclear warfare. So just like us, who would Jesus do? We are going to be surrendering ourselves to the incredible Jack Herer lineage and road, the 420 highway to get the prisoners out. But yesterday I went and I was with a bunch of people in a car and we drove an hour and we went to the office of Derek Kilmer and they weren't there. So I filmed everybody in the hallway for like 20 minutes reading what they were going to read to Derek and making sense of it all. That's what we're doing. We're trying to make sense of this all and present it to the world in such a way that there's no way they can say CBD doesn't work or CBG or the nobody should be in jail for a plant. So if you can imagine everybody growing up without your dad for 30 years because they were in jail for 3 strikes marijuana. Jeff Mazansky, who I filmed and who is out and home after 300,000 signatures. It takes that much energy just to get our point across. Now we're getting ready to do a concert. We're hooking up with HempFest, with the U.S. Weed Channel. Shane, we love you. Thank you for joining us today. Hemp Hooray. And, so we're going to keep our Dr. Demento flowing here and see if we can get the news read today. Rodham is supposed to be here. Some other people that are coming on board are some really beautiful people that are important in the fight for cannabis and for the rest of just humanity needs to have this plant grown. I had my jacket here earlier, but I have a hemp jacket that's 25 years old and it's the most comfortable Manistache jacket ever. And so we need to make paper, fiber, fuel, medicine, plastic, and food. Now hempcrete also. We need to build homes with it. So we're working with Lakota Hemp right now in the Dakotas and also in Montana. I heard they're growing 1,000,000 acres, the indigenous people there. So we can make hempcrete blocks. They are better than concrete because we don't have to rape the earth, and the fumes that people are breathing and the byproducts of a lot of things on the planet are killing the people that are in that industry. Vinyl. I'm a foodie, everybody. And I'm not preaching, I'm teaching. I'm sharing what I've learned. And in the food industry and the vinyl industry, people die early because they're extruding your windows and they off gas actually vinyl windows the life of the window. And so just think about your liver and how little pieces of things get in there and it can't process them all. Who here in this room has seen cancer in themselves or in friends or family? I'm not saying anything because I cannot give you a testimonial by myself, that CBD or Rick Simpson oil works, but in my movie, we have several people that say the combination of both are compatible with chemo and they work. So today we're going to talk about this lady that I met, Lauren, at the Departure Festival this weekend. They carried her on stage. They put her down. She had flowers in her hair, and her bro was singing with her, rapping about lion's mane mushrooms. Lion's mane is good for the brain. Lion's mane is good for the brain. And chamomile. He took a sip of chamomile that she gave him, and then she sang a beautiful song. So we're hopefully going to have them on today, and we'll see who shows up and shows in. And if not, just us four today will be great. And I'll read the news if Rodimus doesn't come. So we keep going because we have to. And so let's do a circle before we do our intro here. And I've got a couple messages to see if anybody else wants in. And so there we go. So I'm really excited for today's show. We're going to talk about another soul that has left the planet. And it was just really, really amazing to hear about him and another Rainbow Brother and the dedication that he did for the movement. So in a 420 spirit and welcoming aboard, I welcome Natasha. I welcome Crazy Pop Mom, giving us some cloudage there, and beautiful Shane Duell. And we're really excited to have you all. We'll come talk to you in a second. Why don't we do this for a second? I'm going to play one thing for y'all here. Let's see if I can find my Bitsy Bates here. So I'm going to share my screen with you. I've already got my, let's see if I can get this going here, everybody. So I've got my share screen on here with my beautiful extra optimizers here. And in fact, I'm going to stop share and I'm going to put my optimizers on again because it is the way to go here. So we're going to record this show here, record on this computer.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so we're recording, everybody. Today is episode 174. We're on Weeds Day. Who Would Jesus Doob is my shirt today of choice. Hey. And so here we go. I'm going to share a screen with you all here. And I'm going to optimize it now. We're talking. And until we get somebody in the back office, once we get monetized and we get somebody full-time in the back office, it's just little old me hanging out and putting all the things together here. So welcome, everybody. And I'm going to show you this incredible video. See if I can move some of my stuff around here. So I'm going to show you this incredible video right here of my, let's see if we can get some bandwidth, and here we go. I made this video, everybody. Come on, baby, you can do. Give it a good whack. Infused pesto, everybody. Infused by Bitsy Bates. All right, everybody. A little Bitsy Bates to start the morning is not too bad. Um, let's Okay, so we're really excited to have Bitsy Bates on today. One day we'll get Bitsy Bates on for real, and Bitsy Bates will come to our concert and cook for Tommy Chong, and make some infused pasta, and the mussels and clams. And I'm a vegan, but my friend's leaving this weekend to go back to Australia, and he's my go-to, my 5 o'clock to watch sports with, and we play golf together, and I'm going to miss my friend Gary. So today is World 420 Days, so we'll have 42 seconds of memorying the prisoners a little bit later. But right now, I'm going to remember Gary. So my Aussie friend Gary's leaving. It's not like he's dying, but he's leaving me, and so my sports, 5 o'clock is going to be missed. But I have a beautiful new soul in my life, Kim Green, and she's navigating some beautiful things. She's a teacher and a sweetheart, and she loves sports. So I can do my 5 o'clocks maybe with her, but a little bit virtual because we live an hour away from each other, which is maybe a good thing, but one of these days we'll spend more time together. So welcome everybody to a day full of remembering the past, the people that have passed. And how many in this room have seen the miracles of the medicinal aspects of cannabis? Me, Shane, and oh, there's a thumb up from Crazy Pop Mom. Yeah, so Natasha, tell us one of your stories of the benefits, sleeping or healing, that really woke you up, or you got to tell everybody how cannabis is a really great medicine for your team.
Well, I was a reluctant person to get involved with cannabis in any shape or form. And I'd never heard of it or thought of it as a medicine before until your back is against the wall. You've tried everything else, and the prognosis forward is just more of the more awful. And there's got to be a better way, right? There has to be. What happened to the care in truly caring and in healthcare, in truly caring about somebody? What happened to that? So I knew there just had to be. God is all love, and I just know that He put someplace on this earth something that is healing, something that is the antidote to all this hatred and this pain and all this fear, all of that. So I found it reluctantly, and it absolutely, completely changed my life. I was facing a wall close to me at 27 years old. I was facing an unknown future, and I had to carry a backpack with morphine in it whenever I went for pain. And I was very much dependent and soon addicted to all of my prescriptions, strong narcotics, just to not go to sleep but to stay up, to be able to function and to be able to use the tubes that were in my body to make my food go into my body, and so on and so on. And what had happened is I had been poisoned, but we wouldn't know this for a very long time. So we would be chasing a misknown diagnosis of sprue, Crohn's disease, irritable bowel. Because I was young, I never had a female doctor. She would look at me like it was my fault. And she would scold me and tell me that I was binging, purging, or I was anorexic, or I was obsessed in some way and form that I'd done this to myself. So I was very shamed all the way to the time I'm dying and I'm being shamed to my death. And in the end, I turned to God, and God gave me an answer, and that answer was cannabis. And it came in the form of a brownie that was doused in oil, just completely saturated in white widow and white rhino. I've never even heard of such things. And it was a gift given to me by a friend of mine who was going through an incredibly difficult, traumatic medical time of her own. And there was a little known research going on in the back shadows with medical grade cannabis. And lucky me, she was involved in it, and later I would be too. But we would chase this diagnosis forever because it showed up like every disease under the sun. And in the 80s, the only thing you can think of when somebody is that sick and suddenly and so ill as I were, after having so many parts removed, I was living on Monty Python sketch. And I was a donor.
Hey.
But then I cut from my banks and I kind of needed them. I was 40 years old at the time. So I'm 58 now, and I don't even have a partial. And I don't carry any type of backpack with me whatsoever. In fact, I do yoga, 420 yoga with my seniors. I'm taking care of the...
Wait. Slow your jets down. Wait.
Sorry.
420 yoga with your seniors.
Yes.
Explain.
So I'm a care nurse intern, and I'm a caregiver, and I am just hours away from being a state caregiver once again. And I have some seniors, the Tokeland Senior Cannabis Club, there's 60 members. I plan to get more. And I do yoga, and soon people started joining in on the Zoom, and then I started doing it on the roof, and that was too dangerous. They really like that. So then they kind of started telling me what they wanted, and I kind of started just doing as I were told. And so I have dance sessions with Ed of Novice Style. Oh, he's brilliant. We have to make them laugh as much as I can, so I keep the lean math going, and I keep as much comedy as possible. I cook, so Canada Vine recipes are always on tap. And I was taking care of their pets. I do still, but the one that had the 6-pound lump, unfortunately.
Wait. We wanted to hear about 420 yoga.
Well, I can't do anything without 420 in it. I mean, I can, but I prefer not to.
No, but do the elders do it? Do the elders imbibe and then go?
So I'm responsible for bringing in the food, the treats, the nutrition, whatever. And so that means that all meals are Canada Vine. I also have a spa system, skin care, And the elders use that as well. And let me tell you, they're not looking so elder anymore. And they noticed it straight away. So that became the regimen that I do, they do. And so we partake in any way that they prefer. And then we indulge in some yoga. And I do the 15 moves that'll change your body in 30 days or less, the bright side on YouTube.
Well, we're really proud of you, Canna Nurse, and for navigating that. We'll have to get Bitsy Bates with you and to bring some infused food from her side of the road. Let's bring Shane up. Let's bring Shane up for a second because we love our Mr. Shane. Shane, how are you today? Good to see you.
Thank you, Jeff. It's good to be here. Hello, everybody. I am super bitchin', as always.
Hey, there we go. Wait. Okay, and tell us a little bit about the because the question I asked before we talk about the US Weed channel, of course, we want to have an update there. But tell us a little bit about some magic that you saw 420 help. Anybody at any age.
Well, like you said in the beginning, we're not supposed to say that we've healed people from cancer, right?
Right.
But I have helped 3 different individuals obtain RSO or cannabis oil, and 2 of them removed cannabis from their blood. Oh, actually 3 now, because we just got the message on my.
I mean, wait, cannabis from they removed what from their blood?
Excuse me, they removed cancer from their blood.
Okay.
So what happened was, I'll give you the 3 summaries. When I first started US Weed Channel, we had a sales rep named Deb, and her husband had, what is it?
Lymphoma.
Something down there. Anyways, he had some
prostate.
Thank you very much. I couldn't think of the word.
Okay.
Anyways, his PSAs were rising rapidly while she was working for us. And I said, Deb, have you ever heard of RSL? And she had not. She wasn't from the cannabis world.
Right.
So we got her husband, Kent, a bunch of RSO that we had made ourselves, actually following the guidelines and all that. And we made it a little cleaner from the original. But what happened was he started taking it, and his doctor, they obviously, 6 weeks in, they were constantly testing, but eventually after about 8 weeks, his PSAs went back to normal. And then within like another 6 to 8 weeks after that, the doctor was like, well, we're testing, but we can't find cancer in your bloodstream. So we don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it. And they knew because he talked to them, but they couldn't record it. So this was back in 2014. Almost at the same time, a mutual friend of ours had breast cancer. And so we set her up with RSO, and we also made a bunch of brownies for her because she had actual surgery to remove one of her breasts or some cancer inside of it. So in summary, one of the best moments of my life, literally. She was on the phone with us, and it was about 8:30 in the morning, and she was on speakerphone, and she started like, hey guys, it's the morning, and I just wanted to call, and I wanted to tell you how, and she stopped, and she couldn't breathe for a second, and she started kind of crying, and she goes, you guys, I'm just driving my kids to school, and I'm not in pain, and I'm fucking live, and I just want to tell you that. I just don't even know how to say it calmly. I'm just so fucking happy. Excuse my language, but that was literally it. She was crying.
Quality of life.
Joy.
Quality of life.
Oh, it was just insane. It was so good to hear. And then more recently, a friend of mine from high school about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, came to my door, and he was living in Arizona, but he came here to California to get some treatment. And he came to my door, and when I opened the door, he busted out in tears. And, you can see a lot of people who cry, but when you see a grown man, 50 years old, stand in front of you and bust into tears because he has hit hopelessness and he thinks he's going to die because he has cancer in his lungs and he's just got the news, man. In his brain, he's going to die. He came from the doctor office to my pad. And so John and I have been friends literally since we were like 14. And so I brought him inside and I was like, you know, I get it. And we talked for like an hour and I said, and when he calmed down a little bit, I said, okay, here's the deal, dude. I'm going to give you like 72 hours to feel all the depression and all this upsetness that you want to feel. Just do it all. You want to cry, you want to scream, you just do it all. But at the end of 72 hours, it's all oranges and this thing called Rick Simpson oil that I know about. I've seen it work with people, and we're going to kick cancer's ass. And that was 2.5 years ago, and about maybe 3 years ago, and literally 2 months ago, you know, he gives us these update texts, and he gave me that message. Hey man, there's no cancer in my blood. Just came back. The test came in. There's no cancer in my blood. Like, dude, when you hear stuff like that from people that are gonna die, they thought they were gonna die, and now they're not. You can't stop that good feeling. You cannot. It resonates through you. I mean, just thinking about it now, I'm getting goosebumps and stuff, remembering those moments and stuff.
It's why we do this, what we're doing.
It's really real. And it's really, you know, to have an Austin Powers moment, it is really real. And that's all I can say. And those are the kind of moments, you know, to segue, that I want everybody to see on US Weed Channel. You know, I want those moments. I want to record hundreds of those and get them out. And I know mainstream and medical doesn't necessarily like it, but look, you guys are making your money. You're going to continue to make your money in your different ways. We're doing our thing, right? So we don't try to stomp you, medical society. Let us do our thing, right? Integrate with us. That's the best way I could say it, because I haven't heard a lot of people coming from mainstream doctor offices saying cancer's not in my blood, unless they frickin' introduced cannabis into their process.
What I've heard is that it's compatible. It doesn't interfere with the chemo. And those brave AMA doctors, the regular mainstream doctors that are allowing their patients to go both ways, are seemingly, like I said earlier, we can't give our own testimonials as producers of shows, but we can bring other people on that have their testimonials. I was talking to Chris Boucher today, and I have a little video of Chris talking about CBDA, and that it's 1,000 times, 300 times. It's a lot of times more bioavailable than CBD, than CBDG, than CBD QRS, TUVWXYZ, and he's got it in his juice now. And so the lady I was talking about earlier today, Lauren, she's going to be in our intro, and he was talking to her about that. And I don't see either of them on today right now, or Rodimus, but let's keep going. And
you know what, Jeff? Let me say one last thing.
Sure.
And I'll let you go for it. I'll make it brief.
Go for it.
On a positive note, you know, my mother, she is older than I am. We'll just say that, and to be respectful. And in a big, you know, rainbow turn of events, she has literally told me since I was a child, you know, this weed thing is just bad, right? And literally went to her house 2 days ago and saw a prescription on her countertop. And I thought, did you write this, Mom? And like, as a note for yourself? And she goes, no, my doctor prescribed it. It said CBD. So Mom now is on CBD, and I am just thankful for it. You know what I mean? It's like,
again, this is a reform show. Nobody should be in jail for CBD or
amen, brother.
or THC. The other thing I wanted to share with you was Dr. Machulam, I mean, Israel has been studying the medicinal aspects for years, isolating all of the factors of the cannabinoids, and we have cannabinoids in our system, and you take more of them, they're supposed to enhance that and help us to heal quicker and have quality of life. Again, all I know is examples. A friend of mine came over and she says, I'm going to sleep in your motorhome tonight, Jeffrey, but do you have anything that would help me to sleep? Any melatonin? I'm a vegan, so I don't have any tryptophan. I don't have any turkey in the house. So I gave her some drops that I got at NOCO, at the NOCO exhibit in Colorado, and they were super powerful. And the next morning she said, slept great, better than ever. So everybody, you find your own CBD, you find your own remedies and your own level of ingesting. Be careful. Don't overdo it, everybody. Don't drive with cannabis in your system, everybody. Be respectful, be responsible, but find your strain to help your brain. That's all I got. So I'm gonna share screens with you. Thank you. We'll be back to you in a second here, and I'm gonna get to everybody here, and I'm gonna run our halfway into our show, our intro here. So let's share screen here, everybody, and share my intro here, because I got a good intro today, and it is going to blow your mind here. If I can find it right here. Here we go. Okay. Hemp Hooray, everybody. Today we are going to honor Goblin, a beautiful soul, a beautiful person, a beautiful friend of most of us and those of us that are on here. Thank you, Des, for taking care of Goblin and his legacy. We're going to share his legacy and just prop it up. Everybody's got to be as good as they can be, and this gentleman was incredible. So Hemp Hooray, and here we go. Weeds Day. This beautiful woman, Laura, was literally brought on stage, and she's healing with 420 compatible with her chemo from leukemia. We honor you, Lauren, and welcome aboard. And we have Chris Boucher to let you know about CBDA. Hello, everybody. It's Jeff Eichen here with WEEDSDAYS, episode 174. So I hope you remember the 70s. We had David Bowie, Ground Control to Major Tom, and the rest. So just remember, nobody deserves to be in jail for a joint. And love and light to all of you. And let's end this prohibition. Happy parade. So much is going on for all of us in our life. Just stay nice, stay friends, and help each other. So everybody, it's episode 174. It's actually World 420 Day on the 4th Weeds Day of the month. We do World Tour 420 Day. We take 42 seconds out to remember the prisoners and people in jail for 30 plus years for a plan. I mean, sitting next to somebody that might be, a violent criminal and then not being able to see their children. So we'll take 42 seconds out right now, and we'll sit here with Mr. Prison himself, Johnny Cash, and just take a few seconds out here and close your eyes, everybody. Visualize ending prohibition, putting our hands in the air, having all of the retirement homes with CBD and with 420 available for their joints, for their wellness, and to be able to build homes and not go to jail for a plant anymore. It's still happening, everybody. There's many, many, many people that are benefiting from the industry, and they need to step up and to help us visualize that there's still people in jail for cannabis. And so I'm going to share with you a couple of those people right now. So let's see if we can go right here and see if I can find the let's see if I can find here an incredible lady that is helping more prisoners than you can imagine. Her name is Amy, and Amy's from the Can Do Clemency. You can see all those people in there. Amy's sparkling right in the middle. There's Amy right there, everybody. And she's doing Second Chance. She's doing so much. And this is her Facebook site. And it's just so remarkable, the things that she has done over the years, and the stuff that she's doing again. I mean, even these people that come out, they're on parole when they come out after 30 years. It's like still having an ankle bracelet on. But I wanted to say a shout out to Hector Marquez. Hector is serving life for pot, everybody. What the hell, you know? Look at that beautiful soul. And so while these people are still alive, they deserve to come home to be with their children. And I'm just amazed still. I'm still amazed. So today we have also a little bit of some Canna news. I'll read a little bit because Rodimus is not here, but check out this new little graphic I made, everybody. Let's see if we can get this to play here. I'm going to see if we can get this to play. Come on. There we go. So it's Weeds Day, and we present the Canna news, and it flows when there's good bandwidth. And so it's really important to read the Canna news. So I'm going to read a little bit because Rodimus is not here today, our incredible grasshopper, because it says Rodimus reads the news. And so I'm going to read some news to you today, and I'll read it while you watch me read it. So today, the youth in Canada is home to the largest cannabis public policy and regulation experiment in history. Canada became the first G7 nation to pass a national adult use of cannabis legalization measures in the late 2018s, and still remains the only G7 nation to do so. And so joining Canada on the list of legalization countries are Uruguay, Malta, Luxembourg. However, Canada is the only country on the list that permits sales to anyone of legal age, regardless of residency status. So if you go to Canada, I guess you can consume and buy. Consumers in Canada afforded the most robust options for obtaining cannabis by legal means, including dispensaries, delivery services, wahaha, mail delivery, whoa, cannabis clubs, whoa, etc. Leading up to the implementation of legalization, cannabis opponents issued numerous warnings specific to youth consumption. By all measurements, doomsday predictions have not materialized. People thought, I guess, and I'm just doing an editorial here, that kids were going to get all messed up or effed up. So one talking point that the cannabis opponents touted leading up to legalization in Canada was that the legalization would increase the use consumption rates. It's a popular talking point for cannabis opponents everywhere that cannabis reforms are being considered, including medical cannabis reform. What does that math say? Health in Canada conducts a survey every year to gauge among the things how many people report having consumed cannabis. According to 2019 survey, results of which released in 2020, bold and emphasis, cannabis of 15 years and older reported ever smoking cannabis. Okay, the prevalence of ever smoking cannabis was 25% amongst the youth aged, and amongst the adults was 20 to 24 and 39%, and amongst the adults of 25 and over. So that's pretty cool, everybody. That their statistics, they're keeping an eye on it. It's our responsibility going forward with this, everybody, to do as Canada is doing. And they see from the survey results that the regulations appears to be better at curbing youth consumption rates than prohibition. So in prohibition, I guess the kids thought, oh man, we can go at 420 and smoke out. So that's pretty freaking cool. We have one more thing to read about. The cannabis legalization in Germany. I mean, what went wrong? Coalition of SPD ministers from Hamburg and Lower Saxony are trying to slow down the cannabis policy modernization efforts in Germany. Germany's current legalization efforts was historically led by the German health minister Lauterbach from SPD. The coalition of SPD state ministers have their way. Minister Lauterbach's bill will never become law. What is currently being proposed, a multi-phase to plan modernizing the Germany's adult use in the cannabis phase, which was approved by Germany's federal cabinet, would legalize the personal cultivation, possession, and use of cannabis. Additionally, the first phase would eventually permit non-commercial cannabis clubs to operate. The clubs would be subject to a host of regulations, and individual consumers would also be restricted only to possessing one membership at a time. So while Germany's federal cabinet approved the first phase of the measure, it is now being considered by members of the Bundestag that it's very likely the provisions of the bill will evolve not in a manner that the coalition and the ministers were hoping for. So as I know, because we have the ICBC there, the International Cannabis Festival there, that it's kind of backfiring in Germany. But let's hold faith that we can get to a really incredible phase and portion of our careers here in helping to make cannabis legal globally. So thank you, Crazy Pop Mom, for joining us today. That was really cool. And then, you know, at the end of our show, we'll have 12 seconds of Mr. Rodimus Parag, Grasshopper, Snatch the Bud. So we're really excited to have the infamous, the famous, the incredible, the incredible edible human beings that do come in at the end of our show. But you know what? This is my show. We can go on as long as we want. So at the end of our show, we're getting Desiree. Desiree is a beautiful soul. And we just talked about Desiree, about Goblin. And so, but we're going to interview, say hello to Rodimus. Hello, Rodimus. Howdy, howdy, hi. Howdy, howdy, hi. What's in your pie? And so we navigated through the news today with or without you, and we'll have you read the news next week. And say hello to the crowd. And we were asking everybody today, give us one example of CBD or 420 that helped you medicinally.
Well, I wish I could have used that as an excuse for why I'm late. But all I have is to say that I had, I was very tired today, and I had a nice homemade pizza. And about 20 minutes before the show, I thought, yeah, I just need to kind of relax for a couple minutes. I'll just lay down on my sofa and just kind of take a really quick little relax. And then I looked back up at the clock and it said 5 minutes to 10. And for me, it's 10 o'clock. And so I'm so sorry to have missed the opportunity to do the news, but I will make an extra commitment to be back next week. I had no idea that I fell asleep and missed your show, Jeff. I'm really sorry.
Well, answer the freaking question. What is 420 imbibe for you? Because we were telling earlier that we cannot tell people on my show or in my movies that it works, but I can have testimonials. So give us a testimonial.
I have to think, for me, well, the first thing that comes to mind is that it helped me stay in my first marriage for longer than I might have wanted to otherwise. Meaning that I had a lot of emotional stress that I was dealing with in a certain point in my life, and I was able to kind of take a moment to myself and medicinally cope with some situations that I didn't understand, and the medical marijuana would have made me not freak out with what was going on, help me cope with what was going on, and put things in perspective for me. So I would say that would be one application that I personally use. Okay,
so that was a therapeutic aspect. Okay, so everybody, find your strain for your brain and don't use cocaine. But everything in moderation. I mean, my parents used to come home and have a Mai Tai, and they would relax. They didn't abuse their alcohol. So I'm not saying marijuana is safer than alcohol, but at least marijuana doesn't mess with your liver. So thank you, Rodimus, so much for joining us today. Let's meet Desiree. It's our first time we have you on, Des, and we were talking about Goblin today, and that's Desiree's partner who left the planet early, and so we're really excited to have Desiree on today.
Yeah, he left us far too soon, but he was just a really enigmatic, awesome artist. He died at 35 of cholangiocarcinoma, bile duct cancer, and it came on suddenly. It was really 11 months from the diagnosis to his passing. But I'm remembering him for, I think everyone does, is the way he lived, which was completely authentic. His artistic ambitions, and he lived an amazing life as a traveler. He lived in buses, and he was a train hopper, and he made amazing art. And he left behind a lot of art for me. Even this T-shirt I'm wearing right here is one of his pieces that's printed. And he left a bunch of stencils. And right now I'm working on a surfboard using one of his stencils, making a surfboard for his daughter. So his legacy lives on.
Well, that's amazing. We were talking earlier. I was talking to Des about legacy and about how many projects do we have left in time. And I think it would be beautiful to prop this gentleman up. Chris Boucher has introduced me to him and yourself, and I know you're down in Cali and everything. So my hat is in the court to working on a legacy film project, or just to get the word out to the youngsters to be all out.
Yeah. I mean, that's really the lesson that everyone learned from him, is to just not care about what anybody thought and live authentically and autonomously as much as he could. He was definitely like a survivor. And then later on, when he met me, I kind of maybe domesticated him a little bit, but we had a beautiful art making space. And when he passed, I went through his illustrations, and I made a little zine magazine of all of his work. So I have multiple page magazine and a bunch of other stickers and things I printed for the memorial. And I would like to eventually do an actual art show. So the memorial was an art show of his pieces, but I would like to, bring his art into galleries, and just the amazing attention to detail and design, like all of his wearable art was really psychedelic and really influenced by his train hopping culture and his time in the punk scene. And he makes some just like really amazing pieces. This is one of the hats and all handmade glasses and masks. So anyways, I think he was just, a bit of a cyber shaman, like a new age cyber shaman.
A cyber shaman. That's fantastic. Yeah. That's fantastic. Well, we honor you, Gob, and we're gonna stay with you super close. And I'll help you with projects when I can. And let's get the word out to everybody and give hope to the children. And this is a reform show. We talk about cannabis prisoners. Nobody should be in jail for a plant. Say hello to the prisoners.
Hello. Definitely. He was in the cannabis scene. He was a trimmer for many years, and these were his dreads.
Whoa.
Long green dreads he grew for 20 years. He really walked the walk, and with his uncle's influence, Chris Boucher, he was, I think, led on a really good path ideologically, and my heart goes out to all the people who are in prison for cannabis. It's ridiculous. And Mitch was definitely on the same page about cannabis reform.
Well, you know what? When somebody gets sick, I always tell them that when they leave the planet, they're not sick anymore. So God bless Goblin and his next journey. And I got to meet Timothy Leary and Mulholland at his house one time with Fantuzzi and the gang. And Timothy's on the other side, but everybody's Timothy, everybody's Goblin. We have it in us. So let's share that with everybody. I mean, Pee Wee Herman. I mean, they're all special and all unique, and that you got to touch Gob. I'm really proud to meet you. And everybody. Let's give a hemp hooray for Mr. Goblin and for just being authentic. I think that's the best word I heard all day. Yeah, well, hemp hooray, everybody. I'm going to bring us back into our little gallery view. Rodimus, can you come back up and give us three fingers? We want to do our 3-finger shot today. Are you with us still, RP? Hello. Okay, 3 fingers, everybody, for weed. That's our new peace sign. Yeah, there we go. And so I'm going to go like this, and then, okay, 1, 2, 3. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I got it. So everybody, it's been a great show and everything. I'm going to roll our Goblin slideshow again for you, Des, since you're here. And that's our intro. Now we're going to do it as our outro. So here we go. Let me pull it in for you and stick around, and we'll play it right now. Okay, here we go. Hemp hooray, everybody. Today we are going to honor Goblin, a beautiful soul, a beautiful person, a beautiful friend of most of us and those of us that are on here. Thank you, Des, for taking care of Goblin and his legacy. We're going to share his legacy and just prop it up. Everybody's got to be as good as they can be. And this gentleman was incredible. So hemp hemp hooray. And here we go. Weeds Day. This beautiful woman, Laura, was literally brought on stage, and she's healing with 420 compatible with her chemo from leukemia. We honor you, Lauren, and welcome aboard. And we have Chris Boucher to let you know about CBDA. Hello, everybody. It's Jeff Eichen here with WEEDSDAYS, episode 174. So I hope you remember the 70s. We had David Bowie, Ground Control to Major Tom, and the rest. So just remember, nobody deserves to be in jail for a joint. And love and light to all of you, and let's end this prohibition. Happy parade. So much is going on for all of us in our life. Just stay nice, stay friends, and help each other. There's Johnny Cash, everybody. So we have an incredible gift today to be able to bring Goblin into the house and into the room. We have Rodimus back. Rodimus, say hello to Desiree.
Hey, Desiree. Hey, Desiree.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for carrying on his legacy. The work is beautiful. I wish I could have been him.
Desiree, Rodimus is the I guess the legacy of Kung Fu television show. He's Grasshopper. He was the little bald boy that snatched the pebble.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. What is your experience with are you using cannabis as healing? Is that what you were just discussing? Was it for therapy, emotional therapy, or?
Yes. Yes, I would say that it helped me cope with very difficult, two different very difficult periods of my life. I think that without that, I would have really lost contact with myself. I think the cannabis allowed me to stay in check with myself and hear my own thoughts and my own feelings about things when those are being drowned out by others.
Yeah, to really find yourself and be authentic to yourself. Yeah, I found that also to be the case with my husband, Goblin. But then later, as he got cancer, he was actually using cannabis as a pain relief and to avoid having to take opioids early on in the cancer journey. He was experiencing pain in his stomach, but instead of using opioids, he was using cannabis for as long as he could. Towards the end, he needed opioids. It was that bad, but he was actually supplementing high potency THC, and he was also using CBDA, the product Juicetiva from Chris Boucher, their company Juicetiva. We were using that with for like the anti-inflammatory effects
And nausea.
Absolutely, and it really worked. It helped him a lot. So it did become very much like a physically medicinal use for him, and it really did help with pain relief.
Fantastic. Well, everybody, this is episode 174. We've gone over just a little bit today, but you know what? Overtime means that we're going to score more. We're going to score with more stories, and it's my show. I can do what I please. I mean, what would Jesus do? Everybody. So we're really pleased to have everybody on today. Natasha, thank you so much for joining us. And Rodimus, thank you for waking up. Boing, boing, boing. And Des, it's a super pleasure to meet you. You're a doll, and our empathy is for you. I can't imagine, and I was saying earlier that my friend Gary from Australia is leaving in 3 days to move back to Australia, and he's my 5 o'clock. It's almost like I'm losing him, in a matter of speaking, but we'll have FaceTime. So maybe, do you have cosmic FaceTime when you close your eyes and dream about your partner?
Yeah, I absolutely do. I always see him in my dreams. And a lot of people have, especially since his passing, he's visited a lot of his friends and family. But yeah, I see him almost every night in my dreams.
That's what I'm going to do with my friend Gary. So after this show, I'm going to go over there. I'm taking him to the ferry on Sunday. We're taking him out to dinner. We're going to go golfing, get in my electric Harley golf cart. And it's, hospice is something, I guess, that we're all doing. We're all preparing ourselves to go home or to go to another place, everybody. But right now, I'm going to whisper to you all, let's bring the prisoners home. So get involved with our concert that we're going to be doing. We're asking for Snoop and Willie Nelson and Earth, Wind, and Fire. Come to us, everybody, and let's produce a concert. And we'll have Goblin's art there too. We'll have him. We'll have it on the stage. How's that? We'll show us your T-shirt. Maybe that'll be the yeah. We'll do a Goblin T-shirt for our concert. Does that sound good, Rodimus? Okay, we got a thumbs up.
Flag for him with his logo. Here it is. Let's see if we can show it. There it is. It's a big pirate flag. We're gonna fly to spread his ashes on a boat. So he was a sailor, and so we're gonna spread his ashes and fly that flag in honor of Goblin.
I wish I could come down. Maybe I can. Come down and film it. You're going to do that on the 7th or the 6th or?
The 6th, the Friday, October 6th.
Let's see. Maybe I could do a bonsai. We'll talk about that offline, everybody. In the meantime, everybody, it's World 420 Day. Take 42 seconds out of your own day today. Close your eyes and visualize the prisoners coming home and anything that keeps you in prison. Remember, 420 is available now more and more on the planet. Let's end prohibition. It's Jeff Eichen with WEEDSDAYS. Love you all. Love you all. Oh, yeah. Let's do 3 again, everybody. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I got it. Okay. Everybody, hemp hooray. That's all I got for you today. And I'm going to love you all up and say it's been a pleasure. And it was quite a day even getting here today because my computer went down and now it's back. And you know what? When we talk to Des about Goblin, nothing matters but love. How can I top that? Hemp hooray, everybody. It's Jeff Eichen. We say 174. Open the door. Well, there's nothing, my friend Eric, he's a dairy, and he's just loves and and they realize well, they're not together. Yeah, and it only lasted less than a year. She was really declared, but what happened with her, she was like, so what happened with her is that he lived in my motorhome for 6 months because he came over to my house, my wife's house. He said, my wife's going to really cried. And I said, nobody, I said, nobody ever. And what's it have to do with, oh wait, stop. Oh my God. The world he left behind. So, I mean, but she represents, they're all cute until they get ugly. But they put on their ugly. Enjoy your gal, remember the good times, and just give thanks for another. Yeah, my show was so hard to take. Oh my God.
fingers, I saw you doing it. I'm like, fuck, I can't even get on here. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm glad you.
Hey, hang on. You're gonna hear me do something right now. Okay, hang on. So I'm gonna go to StreamYard. Okay, hello StreamYard. It's Jeff Eichen here at the end of my show, and we have incredible edibles today. We have Rodimus Para on the other line here, but it's Jeff Eichen here saying goodbye. And sorry I kept this on. Like I said, one day we'll be monetized and we'll have somebody in the back office to be able to shut us off immediately. But if anybody's still there or popped in and watching this part of the episode, Hemp Hooray, we love you, and nobody should be in jail for a plant. Hemp Hooray, everybody. Thank you, StreamYard and Roku.